Yes, sir. That's how we kicking it on this Tuesday. Match day 6, Champions League. Shit's on fire. Hope y'all locked in. Letting this beat rock again. Back-to-back pause. This shit's smooth. On YouTube, the channel is Strange Plug Beats. Shit's hella smooth. Shout them out. Match day 6. You never know what could happen on match day 6. You got teams making the Europa League. You got teams just missing out in the Champions League round of 16. Shit's wild out there. Shit's crazy out there. Let's get to it. Because you already know, at the High Stakes Takes podcast, we over here trying to cash the fuck out. You know what it is. You don't want to be looking at your parlay like, damn. That's what I'm saying. You want to wake up that next morning straight hitting the bank with it. So Tuesday slate in the Champions League is always 2 days. The Tuesday slate, we got Lazio at home versus Club Brugge. We got Zenit at home versus Dortmund. Barcelona in a huge game at home versus Juventus. Dynamo Kiev, they're at home versus Ferencváros. I tried. And fucking PSG, they're at home versus Başakşehir. Gave that one an attempt too. You can't be throwing all these team names at me. That shit's wild. The last 2 games, RB Leipzig in a huge game. This will decide who makes the Champions League and who goes to the Europa League. In a huge game at home versus Man United. We'll get into that one in depth. And then Rennes at home versus Sevilla. That's a game just like Zenit at home versus Dortmund. Staying completely away from those. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribing. Make sure you following. Make sure you in the comment section. We out here cashing the fuck out. Hitting bets left and right. From Saturday into Sunday morning. Hit 6 in less than 24 hours. Then continued that night by hitting another 2. Then, just yesterday, hit another one. Like how Southampton, Dan Ings returning to the bench. I told my boy, I was like, watch. This game's probably going to be tied heading into about the 70th minute, just like the PSG game versus Montpellier. Ings is going to come in and watch him score the game winner. What happens? I'll give it to him. Questionable penalty. But they gave it to him. Ings ended up scoring the game winner. Hit the over. Hit Southampton. Fucking send it. So make sure you subscribing. Make sure you following. We're dropping picks all the time. We're on fire. You go check out the picks right now. The live and direct at Robin. 2 capital I's. __ at Twitter, or you can follow the second fantasy account at Fantasy Moons on Twitter. Make sure you locked in, because you know High Stakes Takes is. Let's get to it. The first game, Lazio at home versus Club Brugge. The line for that game, Lazio's minus 138 on the money line. Club Brugge's plus 333. The over-under is set at 2.5. And that's one where it could hit, but also it's a dicey one. If Lazio don't score, could very well end up tied. Lazio's coming off a 2-1 win at 15th place Spezia in their league, and a 1-1 draw at Dortmund with no Haaland. So that's something where they could have definitely lost that if they had Haaland. They got no new injuries, and they're playing for first if Dortmund end up drawing. So it's always suspect when a team travels on the road, because Dortmund traveling on the road to Zenit, that's something where Haaland's not playing, and that's not a guaranteed win, especially with how Dortmund been playing lately. Haven't been putting up too many goals. They had a screamer from Giovanni Reina. That boy is going to be a beast for Team USA. So getting goals like that, it's not consistent. Can't really bank on it. That's why I'm staying away from that Dortmund game. Could end up tied, and Lazio could end up making it. could end up making it to the round of 16. You never know. On Club Brugge's side, they're coming off a 1-0 win in their league and a 3-0 win versus Zenit. They needed that win to keep them in the round of 16 picture, because coming into this game, they're a team where they have players like Emmanuel Dennis, who missed the Champions League game just for disciplinary just for disciplinary actions. And that's crazy. That just shows you how, like, young-minded a team can be, but that also shows you a coach setting the standard. It's something where they got 7 points. Lazio has 9 points in the group right now. Club Brugge, they're -2 on goal difference. Lazio's got 4 in the bag on goal difference. The only way they could possibly miss out is if they lose and then lose by 4 goals. Like, that's almost impossible, especially with Milinkovic-Savic. Then you have Iserbi. So I'm not really worried on Lazio's side. But coming off a game where they needed a absolutely fantastic free kick from Milinkovic-Savic to give them that win. It could have very well ended up 1-1. So Immobile, they need to get top form. You got Correa, they need to get in top form. If them two, they're linking up, they could put at least 3 past Club Brugge. There's been over 2.5 goals in the 5 of the last 6 league games for Brugge. And Lazio, they're undefeated in their last 5 Champions League games. So it's something where they drew in their last matchup together. So if Lazio get the lead, they could definitely hold possession and just take like a 1-0, 2-0 win. And that's something where I wouldn't risk the over-under. That's something where it's not really a smart bet, especially when Club Brugge is coming on the road. Something where they probably wouldn't put up goals. So I'll take Lazio money line and add that to the parlay. That shit's gonna be fucking send it. The next game, biggest game of the day, Barcelona at home versus Juventus. This is a game where I think there's money to be made in this bitch. Juventus plus 220 on the road versus a Barcelona team who's just coming off a 2-1 defeat in their league play versus who? Cadiz? Come on. So it's a game where Dembele's out, Piqué's out, Fati's out, Sergio Roberto's still out, and you have Umtiti, who's questionable at center back. Juventus, they have Chiellini out, Buffon's returned to training, and Ronaldo missed their last Champions League matchup. And just him returning, that shit's huge. You know how, obviously, it doesn't even need to get spoken about. Ronaldo returning, and the only reason why Barcelona won 2-0 in the last game, they got a random penalty in the 90th minute. That's something where Barcelona probably should have ended up only winning 1-0. Juventus had 9 shots, none on target. So with Ronaldo back out there, they should cut them up. I'm adding the over 3.5 to the parlay. I can't choose a winner here because you never know. Both Barcelona and Juventus, they both got the top spots in their league or in their group, and they aren't worried about getting knocked out or not making the Champions League. It's really about finishing first, and the only way Barcelona will finish second is if they lose more than 3-0, which very well could happen. If Umtiti's out, you already have Piqué out and Sergio Roberto at right back. That's questionable, even though that boy Dest at right back, that boy is a beast. And I hope he makes a big name move, because over there at Barcelona, he's doing well, but if Messi leaves and that ship starts to sink, ooh, I'll look at that shit like. And I only think it's time ticking on Lionel Messi moving. So, and then what's gonna happen with Barcelona fans? All that shit talking, Messi leaves. What's gonna happen over there in Barca? Cricket, son. What you got, Antoine Griezmann? Send it. So Barcelona, they're already first. They're undefeated in the Champions League. It's risky coming off that defeat, and they lost 2 league games, so they can lose. They are susceptible to goals. So Juventus coming off back-to-back wins, 2-1 at Torino in their league, 3-0 at home versus Dynamo Kiev. They're gunning for first. And you know Ronaldo back playing Messi. It's that rivalry. It's been that rivalry for years. So you know this game's one to watch. And this shit's going to be lit. So Ronaldo back. If Cuadrado and Bentancur, if they both get yellows, they'll miss the first leg of the knockout stages. So those are 2 players that may not start, but they may come in, say, last 20 minutes to secure a victory. So Juventus could be open if they don't start Cuadrado or Bentancur, but it's one of them games where you lock in the over, add the over 3.5 to the parlay. That shit's money. I can't choose a winner, but if you want to do a side bet, which I think is where the money's to be made, you got Juventus plus 220 plus the over 3.5. Those odds in a 2-team parlay plus 604. Fucking send it. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow when we... You dig what I'm saying? Moving on to the next game, we got Ferencváros at Dynamo Kiev. Dynamo Kiev, you got Bulaci, he's out, and you have 3 more players that have been out, so that's not really too much of a risk factor. And Ferencváros, they're fully fit. They're coming off a 3-1 league win away, and they're coming off that 3-0 defeat. But Dynamo Kiev is too. Dynamo Kiev is coming off that 2-1 league win, but they also lost 3-0 to Juventus. Ferencváros, they lost 3-0 to Barcelona. That's probably expected. So that's nothing too out of the ordinary, but that just shows they're susceptible to goals. So keep a close eye on that over-under. It's set at 2.5 right now. The odds are minus 105. That's crazy for a game where both teams are battling for the Europa League knockout stages. It's a game where they're going to be all out. Kiev got Tinsinkov on the right side. That boy is a beast. I can't wait to watch him play. And he'll probably make a big money move to either La Liga. He might even go over to the Premier League. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him on Liverpool. That's my squad, but he got speed. He definitely got pace. And he's somewhat clinical, and he's young. And if you put him under Jurgen Klopp, that shit's money right there. So, both score. Both give up goals. And Kiev, their defending is straight up suspect. I looked at that shit. They got 3 red cards in their last 6 games. Damn! What the fuck? 3 red cards? Y'all wilding out there. I'm not gonna say it's just the ref, but 3 red cards, that's close. And I looked at it, it wasn't even double yellows. Straight up reds. So that shit's risky over there in that Ukrainian league. I don't watch it, but it could be one to watch. So make sure you locked in, make sure you tuned in over there. Over 2.5 in 8 of the last 9 Champions League games for Ferencváros, and over 2.5 in 6 of the last 7 games in the Champions League for Dynamo Kiev. Their last matchup, it finished 2-2. I would add the over 2.5 to the parlay. And Dynamo Kiev, them being at home with the top players that they have, I'd side bet Kiev plus the over. Those odds are at plus 240. Talk to y'all tomorrow when we fucking send it. This next game has some implications. PSG, they have to at least get a draw. They're playing Başakşehir, where PSG's favored minus 1,200, so I'm staying away from betting them, adding them to the parlay at all. But the over-under is at 3.5. That's at plus 340 right now. PSG has a Icardi out. Draxler is doubtful. But Neymar, he's returned. He didn't play in the last league game, probably so he could be healthy for this one. And Kylian Mbappe, he came off the bench last game. to win me a live bet parlay, but also to give PSG the 3-1 win. So both of them should be starting in this game just to secure the win. Something where I'm looking at it like a 5-0 win. They shouldn't give up any goals unless Visca gets out deep, which he's a beast over there on the right side. In Başakşehir, they got Skirtle, Liverpool's old defender. He's out with the red card. PSG need at least a draw versus a team who's already out. Başakşehir, they got no chance. And they're coming in with back-to-back 3-1 wins at Man United and on the road versus Montpellier. That's on fire for PSG. And they've been switching up their lineup, so I think that talk about Tuchel, that's just trying to weigh down. And all their injuries, they shouldn't have even talked about firing him. He's a hell of a coach. And with the players over there, half your squad injured, what the fuck can you do, right? So, Başakşehir, they have no wins in the last 5 games. 2 draws, 3 losses. In their last game, they lost 2-0 at home to PSG. So, PSG being at home, add the over 3.5 to the parlay. If it jumps up to 4.5, stay away from the game completely. And definitely don't risk minus 1,200. Fucking send it. In the last game, this shit's spicy. This shit's dicey. You know what it is. RB Leipzig at home versus Man United. The battle for Champions League. If you could reach the round of 16, that shit's huge. You get a nice bag. Your team gets a nice bag if you reach the Champions League round of 16. But if you go to the Europa League, you're more of the favorite. Pressure's on to have to win because you're playing a bunch of lower league teams. This game today, I know that Barcelona-Juventus game is the top game on paper. But this Man United versus RB Leipzig game, this shit could end up 4-3. You got Cavani and Marcel out for Man United. Fred's out with a red card. Luke Shaw, he's back in the squad finally. He could come off the bench. And Paul Pogba, that boy, I touch base on him almost every podcast. He's not up to form, this, that. He looked solid. Scored that hell of a fucking goal from outside the box. Looked like his old self on that shot. Trying to say, oh, I'm done here at Man United. Bruh, you have match day 6, crucial fucking game coming up. And you allow your agent to come out and say you're done at that team. You were probably going to get started in this Champions League match because that's how it's been going. But with that, he probably won't even start. McTominay will probably get the start along with Matic. That shit's crazy. And Paul Pogba, whoever gets him, that shit's risky as fuck. Over on Leipzig's side, Upamecano, one of their top center backs, he's out with the red card. And Konrad Laimer, Henrich, and Klosterman, they're still out. They're coming off a 3-3 draw, which, if you listen to the pod, you fucking cashed out plus 350, coming off a draw versus Bayern Munich over the weekend in their league play. That was one where Bayern didn't have their top players are injured, going on the road to RB Leipzig, where they give up goals, but they also score goals. It was one of them games where, yeah, plus 350, odds are stacked against you, but what do? We cash the fuck out. We have the bookmakers being like, damn, how this man hitting this many against odd bets? Fucking send it. That's how we do things over here at the High Stakes Stakes podcast. You know how it is. And if you've been listening, that's all you hear. Fucking send it. So, that 3-3 draw versus Bayern, they won their last Champions League game 4-3 versus Başakşehir. They're 7-0 at home this year, but they're going to be without Upamecano. And they're probably going to lose, giving up 2+ goals. I think they're going to give up 3 to Man United. It's a game where it could end up just a ridiculously scoring game, especially with all the players out on each side. And with Cavani and Marcel out, Mason Greenwood, a young star, scored so many goals last year in his first year. And then coming in to a squad where he's been kept out by the manager, who I think has an ego. You can't always try to prove a point to a player, especially when you're managing the squad. And you've already seen it numerous times by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So one of the things where I wouldn't be surprised if Greenwood ends up leaving in a year or two. But he's a top player. He will start today along with Rashford, along with Bruno Fernandes. It's going to be a top game. And Man United, they need at least the draw to advance on goal difference. So Man United, they're going to be playing top notch. One of them games where the penalty taken, that added market, that's sitting at plus 150. You know Bruno always scores penalties. Man United always gets penalties. And with RB Leipzig, with them missing Upamecano, it's almost guaranteed in a high-paced back-and-forth game that there's going to be a penalty. So side bet that. Thank me later. No Drake. So the over-under on this game shifted last second to over 3.5. That's at plus 140. Still fucking send it. The odds are even on both sides, plus 150 apiece. So add the over-under to the parlay. I can't call it. It could end up tied because that's all Man United needs. But I would side bet Man United plus the over 3.5 for plus 560 odds. You know how we doing at the High Stakes Takes podcast. We risky business. You know we fucking sending it. I gotta get over here, get to work. I don't know about y'all, but I like going to work making money while the games are happening, making money. And then while you're Ubering, making money on top of that. It's always chasing a fucking bag. We gonna get to it. Grind don't stop. And this is just the start. So I hope you tuned in early. Because what's gonna come of this, especially when we add in Artie Gz and Luke Paid, y'all haven't even seen the content kings. Y'all ain't even see it yet. Wait till we lock in. High Stakes Takes podcast. Moon's back at it with another one. Hope you cashing out because we hit 9 in the last 3 days. Fucking send it and I'm out. Love. Bro, fucking rip it then.